In the videos we've done up to this point, we've taken a look at some of the basic objects that are inside of an Oracle database. We looked at tables and the different constraints that can go out there and some of the things that go along with tables like primary keys. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to figure out what you own inside of an Oracle database. Now, if you are using a graphical tool like SQL Developer, this is really moot because SQL Developer makes it real easy for you to kind of graphically see all the different things that are out there. But if I want to see all of the different objects that I particularly own, so let's take a look at, the different objects that are out there. There's 3 different types of tables that you can query that can show you everything that you have access to inside of an Oracle database. One of them starts with user underscore, and some of the objects that you can look at are like tables. You can get information about all the different tables you own. You can get information about all the different views that you own. Maybe something like synonyms, which we haven't talked about yet. Synonyms. Okay. So there's a whole bunch of different objects that you can own. And if you query something like user underscore tables, you'll see all the tables you own. If you query user underscore views, you'll see the views that you own. Synonyms. And there's more, like I said, there's a lot more of these. So it's not just limited to those 3. So I'm going to draw a boxer on this because this actually has the lowest number of things that you can see. This is just stuff that you actually own inside your schema. There's another set of views out there called all underscore, and this is actually a little bigger than user underscore. So if you query all underscore tables, what are you going to see? You're going to see that everything that you own, all your user tables, plus anything that you've been granted privileges on. So another owner might own a table and they give you the privilege to query it. Once that happens, it doesn't show up in user underscore tables because you're not the owner, but it will show up in all underscore tables. There's a third set of objects, and that's called DBA underscore. And that's the biggest one. DBA actually sees everything inside the database for whatever object that you're looking at. The only people who can see DBA stuff is someone who has been granted DBA privileges. And that's usually a database administrator inside your system will grant DBA privileges to certain users. That's not something that usually give developers or end users. But all is a little misleading. When you look at all underscore tables or all underscore views, it sounds like you're looking at all of the tables inside your database. You're not. You're seeing all things that you have privileges on. Everything that you own, obviously, you have a privilege on. And anything somebody's granted to you, you also have a privilege on. DBA underscore tables, DBA underscore views, DBA underscore synonyms, that's the one that truly has all of the different pieces inside of a database. So let's hop back into SQL Developer and take a look at all of the different pieces that I actually own. And again, if you're going to use a tool like this, it's really kind of a moot point because there's a nice graphical way where you can see all of the views that you own, all of the different tables that you own. It's a real easy way to see it, and you don't have to worry a lot about the syntax. But if you don't have access to something like SQL Developer or some other graphical tool, you're going to have to know the syntax to see some of those things. So if I want to see all the different tables I own, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tables that's owned by the HR user. So if I go here into my SQL where I can select information. Let's take a look and we'll select table name from user underscore tables. And then I go ahead and I execute that guy. And you can see there's all the tables that I own. Music, countries, job histories, regions, department, employees, locations, jobs. Matches exactly what I have here. If I want to see what user tables looks like, what other information is there? How did I know that the table name was table underscore name? How do I know that it wasn't T name or table name without an underscore or something like that? I can do the describe command. User underscore tables. And then I execute that guy. And describe shows me what the table looks like. So it's going out there and it's thinking about it. And you can see there's all of the different rows that make up user tables. So table name, table space name, clusters, status, %free, all the different information that's associated with that particular table. Same thing for all tables, but all tables is going to be a little different. How is it going to be different? Well, let's do a describe on all tables. Whoops. and then we execute it, it's going to have all the exact same columns as user tables except with one addition, right? Owner. The owner of the table that I have a chance to see, because I'm not limited to just the tables that I own. So all tables is going to give me information about all the tables that I own plus anything that I've been granted privileges on. So let's say I want to select owner and table name from all tables. And I execute that guy. So I've been granted privileges on a lot of different tables out there. All tables has a lot more stuff than just user tables, right? User tables just had these 8. All tables shows me the 8 that I have plus all of these other ones that I've been granted privileges on. So you can see on the sys owner, the MD sys, I have all of these different ones that are available to me. So now let's try to query from DBA tables. And DBA tables is truly going to give me everything that I have inside the database, right? Table of view doesn't exist. Why doesn't it exist? Well, I haven't been granted DBA privileges. The HR owner doesn't have the DBA privilege in the database, so they can't see any of that different things that are out there. So you can't hurt anything by selecting from these tables. So you can go out there and experiment, see what's out there. So user tables, you can see all the different things that I own here. I own synonyms and sequences and types and triggers. I can take a look at just about any one of those, and all of the names are pretty self-explanatory. So if I want to take a look at, let's say, user functions. So let's take a look at functions, and we'll execute that guy. Table or view does not exist. So there doesn't have a view out there that lists all the different functions. Functions are considered PL/SQL blocks inside your database that you actually have defined. So some of them are kind of easy to figure out. Some of them aren't. So something like indexes. Let's take a look at that. Does indexes exist? Oh, we can't have table name, right, from user indexes. So I changed it here, but I forgot to change the actual column I'm looking for there. And owner's not going to exist in user indexes either. So let's get rid of owner and make that index name. And again, if I didn't know what the actual column is, I can always go out there and just do a describe on user indexes, and I can see index name and all of the other columns that go along with it. So all of the different objects that are out there, just to remember this kind of scope. User shows everything that the user owns. All will show everything that the user owns plus anything the user's been granted privileges on. And DBA is truly everything inside the database. Everything they own, everything that they've been granted privileges on, and just about and not just about, but everything that's actually inside the Oracle database, whether we're talking about tables or views or synonyms.